All right, going to do the volume of rectangular prisms again, just like last lesson, but this time it's not going to be divided up into cubes. So we'll have to take what we learned, sort of take it the next step. The good news is to find the volume, we just need to multiply length times the width, just like we did with rectangles, but now we also do times the height. Because remember, it's like I'm finding how many cubes are in one of the layers, so like one of the rectangles, and then I have a bunch of those layers stacked on top of each other. So it's like how many layers? What's the height? How tall is it? But that's it. Remember surface area, how there are all those steps? Volume is much more simpler. You just need to remember how to do it. So if we look at this example, okay? If I look and I say, okay, 2 times 10 would be that rectangle, that number of cubes, 2 cubes by 10 cubes, okay, then times 5. 2 times 10 is 20, 5 layers tall is 100. You can use a calculator to help you multiply as well, no problem. Now, if you didn't know which numbers to multiply or you wanted to multiply them in a different order, it would still work, right? If I do 10 times 5, that's 50 times 2. 50 times 2 is still 100. Okay, so the order you multiply them in doesn't matter. Okay, it just sort of depends on how you're breaking it into a layer and then stacking those all together. I should point out on this one, it'd be 100 centimeters cubed, or we call those cubic centimeters, because it's that many cubes that I could fill up that shape with, or make that shape with. Not just squares anymore, they are cubes, because we're in 3 dimensions. We're not covering it, we're filling it up. All right, so again, length times width times height. 17 times 10 times 4. If you need to pull up your calculator, 17 times 10 times 4 equals 680 centimeters cubed. One interesting note is 1 centimeter cubed equals a milliliter, which is another unit that we use in the metric system. So, just interesting to know. If I take 1 centimeter by a centimeter by a centimeter, that equals 1 milliliter. That's how they figured out, or like came up with the size of a milliliter. They wanted them to be connected like that. All right, one more example. 5, 8, and 10. Again, order doesn't matter. If you want to do sort of the area of the base, 5 times 8. Okay, think about, I have a set of cubes, 5 cubes by 8 cubes, and then I'm doing 10 layers of that. So 5 times 8 times 10, well 5 times 8 is 40, and 40 times 10 is 400. And this one doesn't have a unit, so we could just say units cubed, whatever the unit is. If it is centimeters or inches or feet, whatever units it is cubed. So that's it. Again, you can use a calculator. Length times width times height gives me the volume, or how many cubes I can fit in. Once later on, again in a little bit when we come back to this, sometimes we'll have problems that are talking about like if it's half full, how much would be in it, or things like that. But these problems are pretty straightforward. Let me know if you need help. Good luck.